Why do you think Chris Carter has come out and openly admitted the new X-Files is based on me? Why do you think the new Homeland has a character based on Alex Jones, and then that character goes out and says and does things I've never said or done, and then they blame me? It's because the system thinks you're stupid. They think they can build a straw man, an individual who isn't actually Alex Jones, and then have that fictional character say things and somehow discredit Alex Jones in the real world. They may get really stupid people in the process, but they won't get thinkers. And it's thinkers of every color, of every race, of every religion, of every region that are going to change the world and defeat the globalists. So that's who I'm reaching out to, not people that want to just buy into the latest propaganda and latest BS. Now, what is the number one threat to President Trump? I'm going to tell you right now what it is. I bet a lot of you can probably guess it. So I'm not going to make people wait till the end of this video to learn it. I'm going to tell you right up front. But I'm going to give you more information. The number one threat to President Donald John Trump, 45th President of the United States of America, inaugurated January 20th, 2017, is Donald Trump. And he knows that as well. If Donald Trump wavers and believes the propaganda, if Donald Trump believes a lot of his advisors and gets scared and tries to work with the system, he loses. Because the so-called people in the system, the Republican and Democratic leaders, are a bunch of scared children. They buy in to the giant corporate bureaucracy's preset propaganda that's basically set on autopilot. Despite the fact that in the last 2 months of him being president-elect and now president for over a month, stock market's up $2 trillion, small businesses are exploding, Goldman Sachs has made 30+% increase in their stock, still Goldman Sachs works against him, and still Goldman Sachs has given zero to his campaign and everything to Hillary. Because they can't help their nature. They can't help trying to expand and control a monopoly of power, and Trump doesn't want a monopoly of power. He wants a system based on people. So if Trump ever ignores his instincts, like he did in the first debate against Hillary, he will lose. But as I and others said, you got to come out against her swinging. In the second debate, he exploded and he ended up winning the election. Trump has tried to be a conciliatory, a counselor, somebody that brought people together. He's brought in the big power players and tried to say, listen, if we have one-sided trade deals to America, why should we do that? We can have deals that make everybody money. But he doesn't understand, or he does understand, that globalists want to end America as an example of middle class and end America as an example of freedom because it's an example to the world. And so now Trump knows, 33 days into office, that they don't care what he does or how he proves himself or how he promotes America or how he produces success or prosperity, because the globalists don't want that. They want control of the whole show. But now Trump, in the Gallup polls that are even cooked, and in Rasmussen and Pew and others, is still 15 points up from where he was on election day. Internal polls, scientific algorithms that are available, show the positive mention of Trump being at 80% or more. His real poll numbers are at 65. Nationally, they're at 56, 57, 55, depending on the poll. Those are skewed polls with demographics that they know skew towards them. And I told you that during the campaign. All I've got is the truth. I don't sit here and tell you what I want to believe and then hope you buy into my BS. I tell you the best facts I've got. And when I make a mistake, I tell you I made a mistake. That's why we reach conservatively on terrestrial radio and just listening and videos, 45 million a week, another 10 million a week just reading our articles. That's conservative, 55 mil. New York Times today looked at the numbers. They found higher numbers than that. And they're scared. We're bigger than the New York Times. They should be scared. Because InfoWars isn't that big and bad. It's that they are that full of crap that the people are breaking with them. Now, they're coming in with massive censorship. They're openly blocking all the positive comments that you see in the top of Trump's Twitter feed. I missed a call today. I wish I could have informed people, but I was on air. The point is that huge things are happening for humanity. And as we defeat the globalists and their agenda, they're going to intensify their control, their censorship. But as long as we make a big deal out of it and oppose it at each new wave, we will overcome and inform people and win. But if we just say, God, this censorship's gotten too hard, we got Trump elected, but it's, things aren't perfect, so I'm just going to go back to sleep, you're going to lose. And you're going to lose to people that are fundamentally dedicated to enslaving you and your family. So here it is. Trump's number one threat revealed is your number one threat revealed. It's an inside job. What do you stand for? Are you going to be intimidated? Are you going to back down? Will Trump be intimidated? Will he back down? Because everything they do is taking his cell phone away and only censoring his Twitter feed and not letting him watch YouTube videos. And he went back to the crowds, and they make fun of him. They go, oh, look, he needs crowds. He needs adulation to keep doing what he's doing. If he was a globalist psychopath or sociopath, he'd be as cold as ice and wouldn't want that adulation. So making fun of a puppy that wants to curl up to you, or a lion that wants to be petted, or a dolphin that wants to play. That's high intelligence. That's empathy. That's what we're looking for. So yes, he loves the people. Yes, he wants to empower us. Yes, he wants to see better deals for Americans and better deals for everybody else as well. Because Trump saying no to globalism is saying no to the Foxconn slave laboratories and the suicide nets and the forced abortions and the forced drugging. As you raise our wages, it raises Mexico's and China's. When you lower ours, as Ross Perot exposed in 1992, correctly in 93, it lowers the wages. The giant sucking sound. So make no mistake, Trump's fight is our fight. We have to be stalwart. We have to be strong. I'm not hearing some pep talk. 33 days into his presidency, the number 45 is over-delivering. Economic numbers came in. Even CNN had to admit they're the best seen since 1984, the Reagan recovery. Small business, investments, stock market, everything's stellar. But there's problems. And I can't believe they're this bold, because if the big banks are able to blow up this recovery, I'm getting chills right now. It's one of the biggest mistakes they ever made, because they're going to be held accountable. He's kicking out, the Federal Reserve has right now, the private Federal Reserve, putting people to do his will, to give massive small business loans and medium-sized loans, and to get red tape out of the way, something they hadn't done in a decade, to local businesses, to government programs, to rebuilding projects, you name it. And the big banks are in the news saying, dump your stock, it's going to implode, don't do it. And George Soros is naked shorting hundreds of millions of dollars he doesn't have, trying to bring this down. And that's in the financial news. This is so damn epic. I can't get off CNBC. I can't get off the Wall Street Journal. Because mainstream news is a lot of propaganda, but financials, it's there. I mean, people won't read financials if there isn't some real info there. They'll admit the numbers and then just say, dump your stock on, The propaganda's in the headline, but the data's in the news. I interviewed all the financial experts. Ron Paul, who's a big owly guy, hadn't supported Trump. He came on 3 weeks ago and he said, Trump's incredible in the economy. I think it may be too little too late. Rand Paul, great guy, comes out and says, I got to back Trump now. John McCain's a maniac. Thank God he's not in there. Trump's trying to save the economy. We got to get behind him. This is real. This is happening. And I just want to work as hard as I can and just be worthy to be part of this. I'm very humble. Please don't thank me, because I am just very humble to be part of this. Humble to have Ted Nugent on today, who was on fire running, probably going to run for senator, governor. He just said he can't help it. It's the right thing to do in Michigan. None of us are perfect. Man, I'm not out to get you. I want you to be prosperous, live long and prosper. I'm not even a Trekkie, but, I want you to be successful. I don't have some twisted competitiveness in me where I don't want you to be successful. The globalists do. And man, Trump is just absolutely on fire, cutting the regulations, going into the big mega banks, making the announcements that getting $300 billion in jobs already back in a month. They're building the factories right now in Japan, you name it. They got Foxconn ready to shut down slave factories in China and move them here with livable wages. And that'll help China actually raising wages. Well, then, because see, when China lowers, we lower to them. When we raise in competitiveness, it raises China. That's the global metric. Well, the West rises, they rise. Not we fall, they equalize. That was the big line 50, 60 years ago where they were trying to sell my dad and many other people that were top of their class on this whole globalist plan. And they tried to sell me on the plan too, folks. And the meetings were all private, off record. And I wear a journalist hat, but I was offered $3 million, $10 million a long time ago to sell out back when they knew I was making about $300,000 a year total with a couple employees. I was making nothing. Let me tell you something. I was just as happy when I lived in a little blue-collar house as I am now. But I'm really proud of the fact that we built something that is one of the biggest independent media companies in the world and reaches billions of people every quarter, and that I didn't sell out to them. But most people, I remember those executives going, Alex, this is $3 million. I'm not paid that. I'm a vice president of this company. And then presidents, Alex, I'm not paid $10 million. And I looked at him and I said, all the money in the world, if you were offering me this money and I'd have freedom, I'd go ahead and take it. And I remember I told people those stories back when I was already on, back then like 100 radio stations or more. And people really went, you're a liar, you're not important. It wasn't about me being important, but I was already a huge show. It was real. So, now we bring in 6, 7, 8 times that a year, but it's not about profit. It's about having the money to pay for the bandwidth, the websites, the crew, the camera people, the news bureaus, and build a system to resist these people. So what I'm telling you is I didn't sell out to the globalist, and I changed the world. And I showed everybody that they saw the potential and they knew. Well, let me tell you something right now. I see your potential. And I'm not asking you to sell out to the New World Order. I'm asking you to sell out to God and to country and to your family and to be an honorable. And I'm here to tell you, I've studied politics, I've studied geopolitical systems, I've studied economics. And Donald Trump's a real anomaly. They feared him because he'd always been an outsider and done things his way. Now they really fear him because he is classically following Americana and doing things to empower the people. And quite frankly, I sometimes get tears in my eyes when I see dumbasses attacking Trump and people that have lost their jobs saying he's rich, he doesn't care about me, when he's the blue-collar billionaire who truly, like Henry Ford, wasn't perfect, but he was right on this, wanted his employees to be paid enough to be able to buy his products. Trump wants to build an economy based on humans, by humans, for humans. The globalists are an anti-human and are building a monopoly. So the epicness, the historic times we're in, the scale, the importance is so big that there aren't words to describe it. And I'm here as somebody that clearly, before Glenn Beck existed, they said, we're looking for a big guy nationally. Books are going to be published. You'll be on 500 radio stations. You'll be the next Rush Limbaugh. We're going to get behind you. Just do this. And I said, no. And then Beck was there a year later. And now look at him. He's destroyed himself, Benedict Arnold. The point is that you don't need them for success. Just like Trump, his number one threat is selling out. He'd never do that, but his own people or him trying to compromise, he knows they'll never back off. They'll never give in because he wants to distribute not the wealth, but the competition, the opportunity. He wants a level playing field or more level, not like this, more like this. And he's smart. He's letting the elites make more money than they ever made under his idea in months. Goldman Sachs and others making the biggest profits ever while they battle him because they don't want that. They don't want to just be wealthy and powerful. They want to have the only wealth. And I know I've got thousands of articles I could cover every day, but I keep hammering that because it's totally central and we're entering such an important time right now. And I believe in you. I believe in myself. And Trump believes in you. And again, Governor Bush, who my sister went to school with, tried to get me to go meet with him once. They sent over the federal marshals and people and were like, the president-elect likes you. Just say something nice about him tonight, and then he wants to meet with you next week. And I went on air and told him to go to hell because I didn't like him. It's not that he used to live in Austin. It's not that Trump pats me on the head. That isn't what matters. It's that I know Trump, it really isn't out to get people, and that's what's so magic. That's what's so special. And the numbers came out that small businesses and everything are just exploding right now while they try to put us into a depression and a recession. And this is really going to hurt people if this happens. So you've seen who the liberals and the Republican Party support: globalists, consolidators, people that really want total control. And I just believe humanity's stronger than that, and we can do something greater. So in closing, as long as Trump doesn't back down, as long as Trump stays the course, as long as he's strong, even if they kill him, at 70 years of age, oldest president elected in U.S. history, the true alpha male, as long as he just stays the course, he can't lose. And sure, his policy wonks aren't perfect, and a lot of them are like his Supreme Court nominee who's got a good record, but bad-mouthing him, trying to curry favor. That's because they're cowards. They're not perfect. Nobody is, but they think they can curry favor and yes-man themselves into power. Just because they don't measure up to Trump doesn't mean we have to be pissed at him that he's working with imperfect vessels. Just know that the true spirit of the world, the true spirit of globalism that's anti-human, that's pro-monopoly, hates Trump. I want to thank Rob Dew for coming out tonight and shooting this live video. Wild horses couldn't drag me away, and I want to thank you all for your support. Know that Reddit and Google and Facebook and Twitter and all of them are starting to censor us. They're announcing the censorship. They're trying to shut down a lot of people right now, and now's the time to be focused and to cause a debate about this and to spread the links and the articles that you find at Infowars.com, because it's not Alex Jones, it's not Donald Trump, it's not Matt Drudge that brought us to this point. It's all of us together, and it's your individual will, but collectively manifest against the fake collectivists, the globalists, that changes the world. So Donald Trump's biggest enemy is himself, and I don't see him listening to that enemy. I see him absolutely on fire, connected to humanity, and I don't see it as a weakness that under massive attack he wanted to go lean on a crowd and be with the people. My God, that certified him 1,000% in my mind. Choice is up to you. You want fake or you want real? Look in your gut, look in your heart right now and decide what it is, because the destiny of the world, whether we're going to have a good path towards freedom or a really rocky path towards freedom, because I have no doubt we're going to win in the end, that decision is being made right now. Don't let the enemy win. Spread the link. Infowars.com/show. Get those free podcasts. Get the free iPhone Android apps. Reach out to your fellow humans. Cut across those racial lines. We all bleed red blood, and break the will of the globalists, the control freaks, and Bill Gates. We can do it. We can break them. But we got to have the will and the focus and to realize we're already halfway there.